Writing my own story meant going at my pace. I wasn't that typical 4-year degree. I wasn't that typical, 2-year for my master's. And a program like this allowed me to do that.
I rewrote my story coming through here by finding my passion and finding out what would have helped me in the past. And now going back and letting youth know that, hey, it's possible to make it out.
I was going to go and be an educator. I realized that education wasn't going to be a good fit for me. So then when I decided to go into nursing, I fell in love with the program, fell in love with the profession, and kept pushing myself.
I don't think college was something that was implied. I grew up in poverty, so we really didn't look at that as an option. I wanted to drop out of high school at the age of 16.
I went back for my master's after, graduating and being out in the world for a couple years. And at that point, it's hard to cut back on hours, and St. Francis' program, was kind of the one I chose because it didn't really make me do that. It was pretty flexible.
I met a support who was my mentor, and he kind of talked to me about going to school, and he had a direct connection with St. Francis. He was actually a coach here. He made college seem attainable.
I've gained some really good mentors that I still rely on to this day for my profession.
I was kind of lost when I first came into college. I was kind of here just on a football scholarship. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I wanted to find something that gave me energy and that fueled me. I ended up in the social work program, and that's what kind of led me to find my passion.
Walking out of St. Francis with a degree, with my nursing degree, able to get into, that hospital, into that role I wanted. I started out in the ER, and that was my passion. That's where I wanted to be. And, stepping into leadership roles and committees and being involved in the department itself was really rewarding.
Success to me is when getting paid aligns with your purpose and your passion. And that's exactly what I'm doing now. I'm working with a 24-hour crisis line that helps youth in need.
Some people's success is money, but being able to find a job I love, a great family and great support system, great friends has really broadened my perspective of success.
I'm working with youth who are in the same situation that I was in when I was a kid. I rewrote my story, and now I can say I'm successful. How will you write your own story?
Developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. Long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete, any age, any skill level.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. They just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
I work with Smash Bitch Animation. Right now we're working on a kids show. I have a channel called Sky Legend Animation. That was actually what I started at first. The animation department at St. Francis, they got me focused on traditional animation. The professors there introducing Toon Boom and rigging. That is something that the Disney Animation Studio is looking for. I can make money doing what I love, that's awesome.
My name is Nick Ferrer. I was part of the two-time national championship football team. I graduated from St. Francis with a business degree in risk management insurance. That led me to my internship here at Highland, and that internship became a full-time position as an account manager here at Highland. And if it wasn't for University of St. Francis and the education and the skills that I learned there, I wouldn't be where I'm at today in my career.
Parkview Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walking clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit parkviewsportsmedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit summitcitysports.com. Welcome in, everybody, to the University of St. Francis Hutzel Athletic Center for today's Crossroads League matchup between your number 10 ranked University of St. Francis Lady Cougars, who will be hosting Receiving Votes Indiana Wesleyan. Don't blink, because this is the first and last University of St. Francis home game this December. The 10th ranked Lady Cougars tangle tonight with IWU, which landed in the Receiving Votes category. This is the first coaches poll. USF was picked by Crossroads League coaches to finish number 2 in the Crossroads League, and they opened league action with an 82-61 win at Bethel on November the 26th. Indiana Wesleyan dropped its opener at Mount Vernon Nazarene University 72-63, despite outscoring the Ohio Cougars 41-37 in the second half. Indiana Wesleyan's undoing was in the second quarter when MVNU outscored the Wildcats 22-7. USF has won 4 consecutive games, averaging 93.5 points per game, since a 64-52 loss to then number 9 ranked USF Illinois at the Marian University Classic on November the 9th. USF has yielded just 65.8 points per game over that 4-game stretch. The Lady Cougars have restricted opponents to 71 or fewer points in all 9 games. The Lady Cougars are 2-0 at the Hutzel Athletic Center this season. Indiana Wesleyan is 3-1 on the road, including a forfeit win over Cincinnati Christian. In the 30th season for the Hutzel Athletic Center, the Lady Cougars are 325-101 at the Hut, which opened for the 1990-1991 season. The Lady Cougars are 16-5 at the Hut against Indiana Wesleyan, but Indiana Wesleyan leads the all-time series 44-31 since the first meeting during the 1976-77 season, which was USF's second season. Indiana Wesleyan will be led by number 2, Dayton Groninger, junior forward out of Warsaw, Indiana. Dayton averages number 35 in the country, averaging 7.1 points per game. She also ranks number 16 in the country, shooting 86% from the free throw line. Along with her is Madison Davis, a sophomore guard out of Rockford, Illinois, a transfer from California Baptist University. Madison has 16 three-pointers made on the season, which ranks her number 29 in the country, averaging 2.7 threes made per game. Indiana Wesleyan does not have all Crossroads League Freshman of the Year from a year ago, Margot Woofter, their star point guard. She is no longer on the roster for Indiana Wesleyan. For your Lady Cougars, St. Francis with balanced scoring this year. Lauren McBriar leads the Cougars, averaging 14.7 points per game. All-American Kara Gurka averages 14.4 points per game. And junior Emma Applegate is averaging 14.1 points per game. Right behind Emma is freshman Cassidy Crawford, who's been outstanding for the Lady Cougars this season. Cassidy averages 8.8 points per game. Looking at Emma Applegate, what a special season she is putting together, averaging 3.8 rebounds per game. But she ranks number 16 in the country, shooting 86% from the free throw line, and ranks number 10 in the country, shooting 58% from the field. Kara Gurka ranks number 17 in the country, shooting 56% from the field. And the Lady Cougars as a team rank number 15 in the country, shooting 46% from the field. Indiana Wesleyan ranks number 10 in the country, shooting 46% from the field. Another name you'll want to keep an eye out for Indiana Wesleyan is number 14, Elena Adedra. The senior forward is 6'2", out of Fishers, Indiana, Hamilton Southeastern High School. She's averaging 21 minutes played per game and 10.5 points per game, along with 8.8 rebounds per game, which ranks her number 42 in the country. Indiana Wesleyan opened up the season with a win at Receiving Votes Aquinas University, 66-64. They won their first 3 games, following that up with a win against Cornerstone and IU Kokomo before their first loss at home on November the 9th against Lawrence Tech, 75-61. Their other losses came at home against number 17 ranked St. Xavier, 81-65. And most recently, just a game ago, opening up Crossroads League play at MVNU, 72-63. Other action going on tonight in the Crossroads League. It's Mount Vernon Naz at Marion, Grace at Taylor, Bethel at Spring Arbor, and Goshen at Huntington. We send it down to our PA announcer now.
Let us pray and let our Lord thank you for all that you've given us and given to this community. Ask us to know the officials and families. Keep us all sanctity through our victory. Help us to love and respect each other and ourselves. In the words of St. Francis, and light the darkness of our minds and hearts. Give us a right faith and firm bond of charity, so that we may always and in all things act according to your own will. Amen. Please remain standing for the playing of the national anthem. Now let's get tonight's starting lineup. First with the visiting Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats. They're 6-3 overall, 11-1 across the league action. At forward, 5'11", shooting from North Southern, number 5, David Rogan. At guard, 5'10", Rockville, number 10, Allison Davis. At guard, 5'7", Cincinnati, number 13, Jeanette Goodwin. At forward, 6'2", senior from Houston, Indiana, number 14, Amanda Benjamin. And at forward, 6'4", senior from Union, Kentucky, number 23, Carly Lang. And coach the Wildcats, Four, the 5'9" junior from Greenwood, Indiana, number 5, Sydney Crowe. At forward, the 5'7" junior from Roseville, Indiana, number 10, Lauren McBride. At guard, the 5'6" senior from Fort Wayne, number 20, Savannah Buck. At forward, the 5'10" senior from Fishers, Indiana, number 21, Kara Gurka. And at center, the 6'4" junior from South Bend, Indiana, number 30, Applegate. Coach of the Lady Cougars, Jason Real,
So there we have it, folks, your starting lineups for today's Crossroads League matchup. This is game number 2 in the CL for both squads. St. Francis 1-0 in conference play, receiving votes Indiana Wesleyan 0-1. Of course, your Lady Cougars here in the regular season poll number 1 jumped up 3 spots from number 13 in the country to number 10 in the country. The Crossroads League has 4 teams ranked in the top 25. Marion at number 3, Taylor at number 15, and Huntington coming in at number 21. In the center circle, that's 23, Carly Lang and Kara Gurka, as possession goes to the Lady Cougars. Savannah Buck running the point for St. Francis. She's having another fabulous season here in her freshman year. Great defense by number 10, Madison Davis, just a sophomore. We talked about her in the intro, averaging 10.7 points per game. Janae Goodwin with the defense on Savannah Buck. Buck, last time out at the hut, tied a career high with 10 steals and goes right to the cup for the first 2 points of the game, Savannah Buck. Savannah, along with Kara Gurka and Lauren McBride, all came in the same year for St. Francis. McBride and Gurka were vying for the Crossroads League Freshman of the Year, and it went to Kara Gurka, the 2-time All-American here at St. Francis. Number 10, top of the key, Madison Davis. Here on the near wing, that's Carly Lang. Lang is a senior from Union, Kentucky. 3-pointers up and in for number 13, Janae Goodwin. Once again, Indiana Wesleyan playing without the Crossroads League Freshman of the Year from a year ago, their point guard, Margot Woofter. Gurka over to Sydney Crowe. Crowe, who had a big sophomore season a year ago. Emma Applegate's 3-pointer just left short. Emma on the season shoots 46% from beyond the arc, hitting 13 of 28 threes. So she can hit it. Emma also stands 6 feet tall out of South Bend, Indiana Niles High School. I remarked earlier what a fantastic junior season Emma is having. Last year, she really burst on the scene along with Sydney Crowe during their sophomore seasons. Lauren McBride did take an injury redshirt season 2 seasons ago, so she is only a junior. And St. Francis will return a talented squad last year for sure. Feed goes down low, and that was a blocked shot by Madison Davis, the sophomore. Folks, we do have our new score hub working for us today. That hooks up to the Daktronics score wedge and gives you the automatic time and points on the scoreboard. I love it. Inbound pass goes to McBride. That was Savannah Buck on the trigger for St. Francis. Savannah normally does the inbounds for the Lady Cougars. Throws it up with 7 seconds on the shot clock. Clock just left short. Wesleyan going the other way with Dayton Groninger, the leading scorer for the squad. Good defense being played down low. That was Crow, as the three-pointer is good by Groninger. So Indiana Wesleyan's first 2 buckets of the game are triples. And they are 2 of 2 from beyond the arc and 2 of 2 from the field. Good start. Blocking foul goes against number 2. Groninger, that's her first. And the team's first. McBriar. Applegate looking down low. Crow's wide open in the corner. And Savannah Buck finds her. Three-pointer on its way. Off the heel, no good. Rebounded by Gurka. Kara Gurka is a double-double threat every single game. And a nice take by Emma Applegate. Lady Cougars pull within 2. Fancy ball dribbling there by Goodwin, who is a senior out of Vincennes, Indiana. She went to Vincennes Lincoln High School. Indiana Wesleyan does not have a player with Crossroads League honors from a year ago. St. Francis has 3. Sydney Crow and Savannah Buck were honorable mention. Lauren McBriar and Kara Gurka were all Crossroads League second team, and Kara Gurka was an All-American honorable mention a year ago. Three-pointer by Applegate, nothing but the bottom of the net with the high arcing 3 by Emma Applegate. Beautiful three-point shot there for the 6-footer. The Crossroads League really has gotten very good. Not quite as good as the men's yet. The men's league portion of the league has 6 teams in the top 25. The women's Crossroads League has 4 teams in the top 25, and a nice feed and bucket by Carly Lang. But the Crossroads League has won 4 of the last 7 national championships, and that includes titles by St. Francis in 2014 and 2013, Indiana Wesleyan. Beautiful take, Sydney Crow with the bucket, her first 2 points of the game. And, of course, Marion winning back-to-back championships in 2016 and 2017. So great competition has led to a little bit of parity here in the Crossroads League this season. Now with Mount Vernon Naz, and we got an offensive foul going to go against number 14, Elena Adedjwa, the senior, with the push-off. So Wesleyan's going to replace their 2 bigs with 2 more bigs. Adriana Trexler, a freshman, 6'1", out of Swayze, Indiana. And number 35, Ann Seacrest, the junior, out of Claypool, Indiana. St. Francis, that's the freshman, Cassidy Crawford, now inserted into the lineup. And also in is number 40, Malia Leatherman. Leatherman, a state champion from Central Noble. Crawford has that unique combination of size and athleticism. She stands 6 feet tall. Does number 4. And foul going to go against number 33 for the Lady Wildcats, Adriana Trexler. Once again, in women's college basketball, we play 4 quarters, where the men's play 2 halves. I believe that rule was instituted about 5 years ago, when they made the change from 2 halves to 4 quarters. They're saying it's supposed to speed up the game. Leatherman on the perimeter. She too has had a nice freshman season, but Crawford, beautiful take there. And she was able to work through 2 defenders, just could not finish. But a great dribble drive by number 4, Cassidy Crawford. That's what the coaches want. They want their players attacking the basket. Another offensive foul. This time it's going to go against Ann Seacrest for Indiana Wesleyan. So that's 2 offensive fouls here in the first 5 minutes of the game. Into the game for Wesleyan is Bailey Van Dyke, a freshman, 5'10", out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, went to North Point Christian High School. Savannah Buck still being guarded by Goodwin. As Buck gets it over the timeline. She's nationally ranked in steals and assists on the season. Beautiful feed to Leatherman, who will get charged with the charge. So that's going to be the first foul for the Lady Cougars. And Wesleyan currently sitting with 4 fouls. How about Savannah Buck? She ranks number 13 in the country with 48 assists, averaging 5.3 assists per game, and ranks number 8 in the country with 33 steals, averaging 3.7 per game. Once again, last time at the Hut against IU East on November the 20th, Savannah had 10 steals, which tied her for her career high. So she'll need 11 to set a new career high. Feed goes down low, and nice strong move by Ann Seacrest. Her first 2 points of the game. Savannah on the Getty up. Here on the near wing, finds Leatherman. Out to Lauren McBriar. 3-point attempts left just short. McBriar once again shooting 40% from beyond the arc and has 27 3-pointers made on the year, which ranks her number 18 in the country, and she averages 3 threes per game. Traveling going to go against Bailey Van Dyke. Now into the game for Wesleyan is number 3, Meredith Bruyette, the junior. Sydney Crow back in for St. Francis. Gurka and Buck, the 2 starters that remain on the floor. Buck working off a pick by Leatherman. Malia now backing down the big on the post. Her pass is going to be stolen by number 33, Trexler. Van Dyke on the dribble. Good defense play by the Lady Cougars just inside the arc. Wide open shot by Trexler is good. Her first 2 points of the game. Balanced scoring here for Indiana Wesleyan to start this one. Emma Applegate leads all scorers with 5 points, and she's currently on the bench. Another steal this time by Seacrest. And Savannah Buck's going to tie her up. Jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of Indiana Wesleyan. Heads up play there by Savannah Buck. So with the inbounds pass will be number 23, Carly Lane. Lane gets it into Seacrest, being guarded by Kara Gurka. Van Dyke, left-hand dribble drive, straight to the cup. Right-handed shot is good. Her first 2 points of the game for Bailey Van Dyke, the freshman forward. It's Tyon McKenzie out of Brownsburg, Indiana, into the game for St. Francis. Crawford out of the corner, 2 dribbles, wide open 3-pointers, no good. Crawford doing a great job there, getting the extra separation to get her shot off. That's Sarah McLemore with the ball. 3-point attempt, no good. McLemore with the rebound. Put back, no good. And Leatherman's going to knock it out of bounds, so 20 seconds on the shot clock. Dayton Groninger back into the game for Wesleyan, number 2. And Lindley Kistler off the bench here for St. Francis. Kistler averaging 4.8 points per game and 13.1 minutes played per game. Shoots 88% from the free throw line, 37% from beyond the arc, and 37% from the field. Lang to inbound it for the Wildcats. Gets it into Groninger. Catch and shoot. 3-pointer is good. Wesleyan rolling here in the first quarter. 17-9 the score. Gurka with the pump fake. And she will be fouled. Bucket. Oh, traveling call on Kara Gurka. So Lauren McBriar back in for St. Francis along with Emma Applegate. Applegate, Gurka, and McBriar are your starters on the floor for St. Francis. Goodwin being guarded by Tyon McKenzie. Davis, nice feed down to Lang. Lang muscles it in. Three-point attempt, Applegate! Bottom of the net. Emma with 8 points. Cougars with some backcourt pressure here. As Lang gets it over the timeline. Lang does a great job of handling the ball. McKenzie called with the foul at 6'1". Last year, Nicole Ignacia was All Crossroads League first team for Indiana Wesleyan, and Woofter was third team. Once again, Woofter would be a sophomore this year, but no longer with the Wildcats. Groninger. Splash City. Wesleyan is on fire from three-point land. They are now 4 of 6 from beyond the arc. Good job by Lauren McBriar. She was defended there by Madison Davis. She'll take the handoff from Applegate. Applegate takes the feed from McBriar, and blocking foul going to go against Madison Davis. Back into the game for St. Francis is Savannah Buck in for McKenzie. For Indiana Wesleyan, Adriana Trexler back in, number 33. Trexler goes 6'1". St. Francis' tallest player on the floor is Lindley Kistler at 6 foot. Applegate hits the first free throw. Once again, an 86% free throw shooter, which ranks her number 16 in the country. The Lady Cougars as a team shoot 73% from the free throw line, which ranks them number 29. Wesleyan ranks number 24, shooting 74% from the charity stripe. Groninger, nice defense there by McBriar. Lob goes down low, and the kick out, wide open, out of the corner. Davis cannot hit the triple. And now a foul going to go against St. Francis. It's called on number 21, Kara Gurka. So at the free throw line will be Sarah McLemore. McLemore's first is good. Entering today, a 75% free throw shooter, hitting 3 of 4 on the season. So that's her second miss this year. 7 seconds remaining. Buck, handoff goes to McBriar. Long three-point attempt, and it's no good. So Indiana Wesleyan will take a 23-14 lead into the second quarter. You're watching Lady Cougar basketball here from the Hutzel Athletic Center. For every victory, for every highlight, for every team in the Summit Athletic Conference, we've got you covered. Like, follow, and subscribe for all the latest. Welcome back, everyone, to the Hutzel Athletic Center. Lady Cougars shooting 45% from the field, 5 of 11 shooting, but just 2 of 7 from beyond the arc, shooting 29%. Indiana Wesleyan has been on fire from three-point land. They're 4 of 7, shooting 57%. 9 of 13 from the field, shooting 69%. Out-rebounding St. Francis 8-6. Wesleyan with 6 assists. Lady Cougars with 3. Wesleyan 2 steals to 0, 4 turnovers to 3. So St. Francis winning the turnover battle. Feed goes to Applegate. Another strong take. Applegate now with a game-high 12 points, picking up right where she left off there in the first quarter. Emma's been fantastic. Cougars with the press. That's Sydney Crow and Savannah Buck putting the pressure on. Carly Lang going to slow things up here for the Lady Wildcats. Their shot nearly wedged between the rim and the backboard. Crow. Lady Cougars with their starting lineup out on the floor. Foul's going to go against number 14, Elena Adejua, and that is her second foul. Savannah Buck to inbound it, finds a wide open Crow, and she's pushed from behind. No foul called, but wow on that one. That was Dayton Groninger. Groninger now going straight to the cup. And there the foul's called on the charge. Groninger's second, team second. So currently a 7-point advantage for the Lady Wildcats. Both teams getting ready to go on Christmas break. Now the foul goes against number 33, Adriana Trexler. Up next for Wesleyan, they will host Marian University. The Knights are 9-2 overall, 0-1 in Crossroads League play. That's right, Taylor beat Marian 76-60. Can you believe it? Marian ranked number 3 in the country, and they're up 3 spots in that first coaches poll. Interesting stuff. Taylor, of course, last year behind the Buck sisters and Kendall Bradbury, who was the Crossroads League Player of the Year. They made a run there at the national tournament. But last year, winning the national championship was Concordia out of Nebraska, 67-59 over Southeastern out of Florida. So the Crossroads League was not represented in the national championship game. Applegate, that one's no good and no foul called. And the reverse lane is by Kara Gurka. She'll look for the and one, her first 2 points of the game. That was an outstanding play by Gurka. Take another look at that one real quick. See Applegate there. No foul called because it was not a foul. Adejwa did a good job straight up. Second one's good. And the free throw attempt's no good. Tracked down by Trexler. Lang now being guarded by Savannah Buck. Savannah stands 5'6". Lang at 6'1". Savannah's now, looks like the Lady Cougars in a zone defense as the jumper rolls in by Adriana Trexler. Gurka, long three-point attempt, halfway down, rims out. Possession to the Wildcats. Whitney Will now checking into the game for the Lady Cougars. Whitney averaging 13.4 minutes played per game, 4.3 points per game, and 3.4 rebounds per game. Whitney's an outstanding defender for the Lady Cougars and should play a key role in this game with all the very talented bigs that Indiana Wesleyan has. Three-point attempt. That one's no good by Davis. Savannah Buck's going to get helped off the floor by Crow. It's going to be Lang with the inbounds pass. 7:43 remaining. Nice dribble drive. The take to the bucket by Adriana Trexler. She's fouled and will look for the and one. An outstanding take there by the freshman. You can see Trexler, she's got leadership written all over her. Trexler averages 15.3 minutes played per game, 7.9 points per game, and ranks number 45 in the country, shooting 82% from the free throw line. She's hit 23 of 28 entering today's game. It's up and good. That was a beautiful take there by Trexler, who went around the world and finished at the cup. Gurka to McKenzie. Whitney Will has that one taken away. Trexler, and she will be fouled by Tyon McKenzie, but great job by McKenzie. Lady Cougars are saying it was all ball. It looks like, I didn't know if they were going to reverse that call. You see the athleticism down there by Tyon McKenzie, who sped back and was able to get into position to swat that ball away. Trexler is going to be called with a technical foul. And McKenzie called with the block. So the referee giving his explanation to Ethan Whaley, who's in his third season at Indiana Wesleyan. He's a 2011 graduate at IWU, where he played basketball for Coach Greg Tonigal. So the first one is good by Trexler. Second good as well. I haven't seen much of Adriana Trexler, but what I have seen, expect her to be in the conversation for Crossroads League Freshman of the Year. She's an outstanding looking player, averaging 7.9 points per game. St. Francis candidate Cassidy Crawford averages 8.8 points per game. Now Lauren McBriar to shoot the two technical foul shots. First one's no good. McBriar entering today shooting 81% from the free throw line, 21 of 26. Second one's no good. Lauren not happy. So Trexler is going to come out of the game. Carly Lang sticking up for her teammate there. Back in is Janae Goodwin. It'll be Sydney Crow with the inbounds pass. Tyon running the point. She'll be your starting point guard next year after Savannah graduates. McBriar looking to get to the cup, and good defense being played. That was number 10 with the block, Madison Davis, but then a foul going to be called against Kara Gurka, and that one goes against Carly Lang. Lang, her second, team's fifth. Indiana Wesleyan, a very aggressive team, and you need to be if you want to win at this level. So Whitney Will hits her first free throw. Entering today, Whitney, a 71% free throw shooter, hitting 10 of 14. Will, once again, a real solid defender for Coach Jason Ridge. Coach Ridge is in his fifth season here at St. Francis, and he's a 2000 graduate from IPFW right here in Fort Wayne. That's Indiana Purdue Fort Wayne, which is now Purdue Fort Wayne. I know, it's confusing. So a 30-second timeout going to be called by Coach Whaley. Take a look here on the DACstats.com webcast. And Taylor University is up on Grace 36-24 in the second quarter. Spring Arbor's beating Bethel 38-14. And Huntington is beating Goshen 23-9. We do apologize, folks, but Marion University does not use the DAC Stats webcast. They use their own deal. So we don't have an update for you for the MVNU at Marion game. Of course, I can always type in Marion University and go to their athletics website. It's just a lot easier when all of them are together on the DAC Stats platform, which is the main platform for the NAIA. sure there's good reasoning behind it. On the rock is Janae Goodwin for IWU. Emma Applegate set to check back in. Skip pass goes to the freshman Van Dyke. Her pass results in a turnover intended for Dedgewell. Applegate's going to check in for Whitney Will. Kara Gurka being guarded by Lang. The freshman Crawford. Applegate down low. Having no problem pushing down to Dedgewell. Emma Applegate now with 14 points. A good, strong take by the junior. It's Van Dyke on the ball. Picks up her dribble. Madison Davis for Wesleyan. Goodwin back over to Van Dyke. Davis, long three-point attempt, rains it home. .11 advantage here for Wesleyan. Gurka, and that's clean there as Lang had the block. Possession going to stay with St. Francis, 20 seconds on the shot clock. And Marion's beaten Mount Vernon Nass 41-28 in the second quarter. So I've got that pulled up. Gurka down low. Lang rips it away. Crawford with the defense on Lang. Now it's McKenzie on Janae Goodwin. Van Dyke's going to be fouled by McBriar. Lauren, that'll be her first, team's fifth. Team's fourth, excuse me. Back in the game, that's Ann Seacrest. Has her shot blocked by Crawford. The freshman with the big swat. Seacrest with the putback. It's good. Still, though, what a great block there by Crawford. Leatherman about to check into the game along with Sydney Crow. McBriar looking for some separation. That ball nearly kicked, but it was off the leg of number 21, Bailey Van Dyke. How about that game last night? Noah Smith for Indiana Wesleyan shoots it out of the corner with his team down by one, misses, and Kyle Mangus gets the rebound in the air and gets the shot off and makes it with 0.1 seconds remaining to give Indiana Wesleyan the lead and eventually the win. But right before that, Seth Maxwell tipped the ball out of bounds, but they said it was off University of St. Francis. That's a shot clock violation. Turnover. Coach Ridge not happy. That's turnover number 5. Wesleyan has 6 turnovers. Now we got a timeout taken by Coach Jason Ridge. And that will be a full timeout. We'll take one with him. You're watching Lady Cougar basketball here from the Hutzel Athletic Center. For every victory, for every highlight, for every team in the Summit Athletic Conference, we've got you covered. Like, follow, and subscribe for all the latest. Welcome back, everybody, here at the Hutzel Athletic Center, where Indiana Wesleyan has a 13-point lead. Wesleyan held the lead after the first quarter, 23-14, and now outscoring USF 12-8 in the second quarter. That's Janae Goodwin being picked up by Tyon McKenzie. Wesleyan doing a great job with their three-point shooting in this game. St. Francis 2 of 8 from beyond the arc, and Indiana Wesleyan 5 of 9. Another three-pointer. That one's no good. Leatherman with the board. McKenzie bringing it up for the Lady Cougs. Crow looking down low for Leatherman. Has her. Leatherman versus Seacrest. Seacrest doing a good job pushing her out, but Leatherman still finishes. That's the freshman Van Dyke. Good spin move on the block. She now has 4 points. Very balanced scoring here for Indiana Wesleyan. For St. Francis, Emma Applegate has 14 of the 24 points. Good job coming out by Sydney Crow. Crow's going to be fouled. That looks like number 3 going to be called. Meredith Broyette. That's her first. Broyette does have 1 point. She'll check out of the game. Back into the game is Madison Davis. First one by Crow is up and in. Her 3rd point of the game. Sydney entering today a 75% free throw shooter, hitting 6 of 8. She's 2 of 2 today. Lang over the timeline. McKenzie with the D. Goodwin calling for some motion. Sends Van Dyke down to the corner. That's Seacrest up top. Handoff goes to Van Dyke. Another dribble drive. Ooh! Big block by Tyon, but they're going to call a foul on that one. Tyon is not messing around. It's her 2nd block that she's been called for a foul. Take one more look at it. Tyon, boom. That looked like she was spiking a volleyball. First one's up and in for Van Dyke. She now has 5 points. Entering today a 62% free throw shooter, hitting 8 of 13. Crawford back in for McKenzie. Man, Tyon, that literally looked like a volleyball player spiking it at the net. My name is Jeff Mahoney, bringing you the play-by-play. We have KG Garza, Catalina, on camera. Three-pointer. Looked like maybe a travel there by number 10, Madison Davis. That's off the foot of Ann Seacrest. Long three-pointer. Nearly good there by Applegate. If I'm Coach Ridge, I'm saying, Emma, shoot it whenever you'd like. She's now 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. Davis looking for Lang, has it stolen by Crawford. Cassidy goes 6 foot out of Tipton, Indiana. Just a freshman. I haven't seen many Crossroads League teams yet. This is my first Indiana Wesleyan, but Crawford's the real deal, folks, and just a freshman for Coach Jason Ridge. Applegate had that block from behind by Carly Lang. Lang doing a good job of just trailing on the play and staying straight up. Van Dyke picks up the loose ball. Wesleyan slowing it down, 12 seconds on the shot clock. Van Dyke working against Crow. Sydney doing a good job staying in front, and that was Crawford that got a hand in there for the steal. She's calling for it. Pass just a little bit out in front. Turnover by St. Francis. Lead pass would have been good if it was about 5 steps earlier, but Lady Cougars just ran out of real estate there. Eight seconds on the shot clock. The pass intended for Seacrest was wide right. There's a foul. That's going to go against Seacrest. For Seacrest, that's her second and the team's 5th. Gurka checks back in. Starting lineup on the floor here for St. Francis. McLemore on the floor for Indiana Wesleyan. Van Dyke not a starter. Neither is McLemore. And Lang comes up with the steal. Lang looking to take it straight to the cup and finishes. Very impressive. Carly Lang now with 6 points. Gurka here on the near wing. Just 17 seconds left until the break. McBriar with the catch and shoot three. Knocks it down for Lauren McBriar. That was a big make for her. We'll expect her to come out on fire in the second half. Lang's long three-pointer no good. And that will do it for the first half. Indiana Wesleyan up 41-29. We'll take a break and be back with you in 8 minutes for a recap of the first half and second half action.
Writing my own story meant going at my pace. I wasn't that typical 4-year degree. I wasn't that typical, 2-year for my master's. And a program like this allowed me to do that.
I rewrote my story coming through here by finding my passion and finding out what would have helped me in the past. And now going back and letting youth know that, hey, it's possible to make it out.
I was going to go and be an educator. I realized that education wasn't going to be a good fit for me. So then when I decided to go into nursing, I fell in love with the program, fell in love with the profession, and kept pushing myself.
I don't think college was something that was implied. I grew up in poverty, so we really didn't look at that as an option. I wanted to drop out of high school at the age of 16.
I went back for my master's after, graduating and being out in the world for a couple years. And at that point, it's hard to cut back on hours, and St. Francis' program, was kind of the one I chose because it didn't really make me do that. It was pretty flexible.
I met a support who was my mentor, and he kind of talked to me about going to school, and he had a direct connection with St. Francis. He was actually a coach here. He made college seem attainable.
I've gained some really good mentors that I still rely on to this day for my profession.
I was kind of lost when I first came into college. I was kind of here just on a football scholarship. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I wanted to find something that gave me energy and that fueled me. I ended up in the social work program, and that's what kind of led me to find my passion.
Walking out of St. Francis with a degree, with my nursing degree, able to get into, that hospital, into that role I wanted. I started out in the ER, and that was my passion. That's where I wanted to be. And, stepping into leadership roles and committees and being involved in the department itself was really rewarding.
Success to me is when getting paid aligns with your purpose and your passion, and that's exactly what I'm doing now. I'm working with a 24-hour crisis line that helps youth in need.
Some people's success is money. but be able to find a job I love, a great family and great support system, great friends has really broadened my perspective of success.
I'm working with youth who are in the same situation that I was in when I was a kid. I rewrote my story and now I can say I'm successful. How will you write your own story?
Developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. Long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete, any age, any skill level.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. They just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
I work with Smash Bits Animation. Right now we're working on a kids show. I have a channel called Sky Legend Animation. That was actually what I started at first. The animation department at St. Francis, they got me focused on traditional animation. The professors there introducing Toon Boom and rigging. That is something that the Disney Animation Studio is looking for. I can make money doing what I love, that's awesome.
My name is Nick Ferrer. I was part of the two-time national championship football team. I graduated from St. Francis with a business degree in risk management insurance. That led me to my internship here at Highland, and that internship became a full-time position as an account manager here at Highland. And if it wasn't for University of St. Francis and the education and the skills that I learned there, I wouldn't be where I'm at today in my career.
Parkview Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walk-in clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit parkviewsportsmedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit summitcitysports.com. Welcome back, everybody, to the Hutzel Athletic Center, where Indiana Wesleyan leads it 41-29 over your Cougars. For Wesleyan, their leading scorer is Dayton Groninger with 9 points, and Adriana Trexler with 9 points. Both players were 3 of 3 from the field. Groninger, is 3 of 3 from three-point land. Indiana Wesleyan shooting 42% from beyond the arc. Leading scorer for St. Francis is Emma Applegate with 14 points. She's got 1 rebound. Emma was 5 of 9 from the field. Kara Gurka had 2 points. Sydney Crow with 4 points. Lauren McBriar with 3. 2 points for Buck, Will, and Malia Leatherman. St. Francis as a team shooting 40% from the field and 30% from three-point land. 60% shooting for Indiana Wesleyan from the field and 42% from beyond the arc. Wesleyan shooting 86% from the free throw line. St. Francis shooting 67%. Points off turnovers, Indiana Wesleyan 10-4. Points in the paint, Wesleyan 16-12. Second chance points, both teams have 6. And here's the big number right here. Wesleyan has 20 points off the bench, St. Francis with just 4. The largest lead for Wesleyan was 15 points with 30 seconds remaining in the second. St. Francis had a 2-point lead in the first quarter. They scored the first bucket of the game. That was Savannah Buck's lay-in. The score has never been tied, but there's been 5 lead changes here at the Hut. Once again, leading St. Francis in scoring is Emma Applegate, who shot 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. Just look at this deep 3. Boom, right there. We'll be right back for the second half here from the Hut.
Developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. Long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete, any age, any skill level.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting me up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC Conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Here at the break, moments away from the start of the second half. The three impact players, from my perspective, for Indiana Wesleyan in the first half was Carly Lang. She had 6 points. She played 17 minutes, which is more than any other player outside of Lauren McBriar for St. Francis. But Lang had 6 points, 2 assists, 2 blocks, and 2 rebounds. Another great player, or 2 other great performances, were by the freshman, Bailey Van Dyke. She had 6 points, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, and 11:52 played. And Adriana Trexler, who had 9 points and just 5:55 played. She also had 1 rebound. For St. Francis, of course, Emma Applegate, 5 of 9 from the field, 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. Emma with 14 points and 14:42 played. Lauren McBriar led all players with 18 minutes, 13 seconds played. She had 3 points. Lauren just 1 of 2 from the field, 1 of 2 from beyond the arc. So St. Francis going to have to figure out the bigs here for Indiana Wesleyan. And will the Wildcats remain hot from beyond the arc? Wesleyan 5 of 12 shooting, 42% from three-point land. St. Francis 3 of 10. So the Lady Wildcats took 2 more three-pointers than St. Francis. That's Carly Lang. She gives it up to Dayton Groninger. Groninger only played 8 minutes there in the first half, but had 9 points on 3 of 3 shooting from beyond the arc. Nice strong take there by Carly Lang. Folks, we are in the third quarter, just waiting for the scoreboard to update. I do not have those control of that anymore. It's fine with me. Eight seconds on the shot clock. Gurka, whoa, long three-pointer by Emma Applegate results in an air ball. That's the longest one she's taken today. Not sure how Coach Ridge felt about that shot attempt, but the shot clock was dwindling down. Goodwin on the ball here for Wesleyan. Good defense by Applegate on Davis. Starting lineups on the floor here for both teams. Lang, nice feed to Adejwa, who's going to be fouled by Sydney Crow. So Elena Adejwa did not score in the first half and did not record a rebound in 8 minutes played. But she's still a force even when she doesn't score. First free throw rims in for Elena Adejwa, who's a 61% free throw shooter on the season, hitting 22 of 36, and entering today the team's third leading scorer at 10.5 points per game. Savannah Buck bringing it up for the Lady Cougs. 2 fouls, 2 points for Savannah in the first half. Applegate looking down low. Top of the key, 3. That one, no good. Applegate now 2 of 6 from three-point land as she's missed her first 2 three-pointers. And a charge going to be called against number 21, Kara Gurka. No, excuse me. That was against Emma Applegate. So checking into the game will be Whitney Will for Applegate, Tyon McKenzie for Lauren McBriar, and Cassidy Crawford for Kara Gurka. To inbound it will be Goodwin, the senior. Lang bounces it over to Goodwin as they break the press. Adejwa, that ball is going to remain with Indiana Wesleyan. I think that was Will with the kick. 23 seconds on the shot clock. Lang to inbound it. Once again, folks, this is the third quarter. Lang looking down low. Adejwa did a good job getting her right hand on it. Now the bounce pass. Outstanding assist by Elena Adejwa to Carly Lang. Wesleyan now up by 18 points. Crawford, no foul called. Madison Davis did a good job of shaking the defender. Crawford with the rebound. And that was tipped out of bounds by Wesleyan. Possession to stay with St. Francis. Crow to inbound it. Sydney Crow. Nice strong take, just couldn't finish. Looking for Crawford on the perimeter. Had defenders all around her. Adejwa with the rebound and is double teamed. Travel called against Elena Adejwa. And she was tied up down there on the block. McBriar checks back into the game for McKenzie. Coach Ridge playing around with his lineup here early in the third. We're nearly 3 minutes in. Savannah Buck. She's going to be fouled. It's going to go against Shanae Goodwin. That'll be her first. Team's first. Crawford's attempt no good. Lang comes down with it. Gets it up the floor quickly. Long three-point attempt. That front rim's no good for Madison Davis. Savannah looks down. Will is going to be fouled by Carly Lang. That'll be her third. In the first half there, 14 fouls for Wesleyan, only 7 for St. Francis. Gurka into the game now for Crawford. Lang's going to check out. Back in for Iwu is Trexler. Trexler with some good defense there on Gurka. Just hard to move around these bigs for Indiana Wesleyan. McBriar is going to be fouled and will head to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Lauren, 0 of 2 from the free throw line in this game. With an 81% free throw shooter on the season. She's always been a great free throw shooter. Just a great shooter in general. First one's good. By the way, folks, Savannah Buck does lead the Crossroads League, averaging 3.67 steals per game. 33 total. Second's good as well. McBriar, throughout her career, a 77% free throw shooter. Baseline. That pass looked like it was deflected by Will. And Whitney Will going to be called with a blocking foul. Heading to the free throw line, Adriana Trexler, just a freshman. Trexler and Van Dyke, two very, very impressive looking freshmen for Wesleyan. St. Francis, two impressive freshmen are Malia Leatherman and Cassidy Crawford. Free throws up and in for Trexler. She's now perfect 4 of 4 from the charity stripe. (49-31) your score. Crow got her defender Groninger up in the air. Crow now being guarded by Trexler. Pick set by Gurka, as she takes it here on the near wing. Gurka running through the baseline. Her pass swatted away by Davis with 6 seconds left in the shot clock. McBriar sets the pick for Gurka. An offensive foul going to go against Whitney Will. With the illegal pick. Groninger back over to Goodwin here. 5.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Good spin move in the lane. And Seacrest. She too is impressive in the first half for Wesleyan. 20-point advantage. Largest lead of the game here for the Lady Wildcats. Dayton Groninger going to be called with the foul. It'll be her third, team's fourth. Davis checks out. Back in is Van Dyke for Iwu. Kara Gurka sitting with 2 points right now for Lady Cougars. That ball knocked away from McBriar. Trexler going coast to coast. Now a 22-point advantage for Indiana Wesleyan. So the foul goes against Seacrest. Her third, team's fifth. As Applegate hits her first free throw. Emma now 3 of 3 from the free throw line with 15 points. Wesleyan currently with 18 team fouls, St. Francis with 11. Trexler picks up her dribble. That was Buck with the defense. Van Dyke, another nice take to the cup. Van Dyke's been getting to the rim really with ease whenever she likes. Gurka left hand off glass. Nice strong take by Kara Gurka. Goodwin, floater in the lane. Nobody picked up Goodwin. She's not pleased that she missed the bunny. Carly Lang going to check back in for Wesleyan, along with Bruyette. Lang to inbound it. Handoff from Seacrest. Good defense there by Buck. Savannah Buck there in the first half did not have a steal. The Lady Cougars did have two, one by Crawford and one by Crow. Cassidy Crawford was fantastic in the first half for St. Francis. Disrupting the Indiana Wesleyan offense. So Goodwin's back into the game along with McLemore. As Buck brings it over the timeline. Savannah on the near wing. Finds Crow, wide open three. A little strong, good tip out by Applegate, and McBriar is going to be fouled by Van Dyke, chasing after the loose ball. Marion's up on top of Mount Vernon Naz, 68-47. Taylor beating Grace 66-48. So the first one's no good by McBriar. Spring Arbor on top of Bethel, 55-38, and Huntington is losing to Goshen now, 46-45. Goshen, who made it to the Final Four, I think like 3 years ago, had some down seasons. It looks like they're pretty strong this year with a 6-3 overall record, 0-1 in Crossroads League play. Seacrest, rebounded by Gurka. That's McBriar has Crow in the corner, being guarded by Van Dyke. Gurka once again just hard against these bigs. That was Ann Seacrest with the defense. Van Dyke pulls up, 13-footer. McBriar with the rebound. Long three-point attempt. McBriar, that one front rim, no good. Nice hustle play by Crow. She got to it at the same time as Goodwin. Jordinger going to check back in for Trexler. Now the foul ball by Ann Seacrest. Tyon McKenzie back in the game for St. Francis, along with Cassidy Crawford. It's a good lineup for St. Francis with them two out on the floor. They seem to be able to match the intensity that we're seeing from Indiana Wesleyan. Applegate, up and in. Emma now 5 of 5 with 17 points from the free throw line. 6 of 6. Whitney Will going to check in for her. She got a really good defensive lineup out on the floor for St. Francis. Crow, Buck, Will, McKenzie, and Crawford. Crawford going to pick up Goodwin right here at the timeline. Feed goes down low to Adejwa. Good defense played by the Lady Cougars, forcing the turnover. And now we got the offensive lineup coming in. McBriar, Applegate, and Gurka. Emma Applegate still with a game-high 18 points Trexler leads Indiana Wesleyan. Three-pointer left short. That was rebounded by Groninger. Savannah Buck with the defense, and Groninger dipped the shoulder. Charge going to be called. That'll be her fourth foul. You just can't dip the shoulder. Indiana Wesleyan winning the third quarter 14-9. Buck gives it up for Crow. Picks up by Applegate. She'll roll down to the block. And Adeshwa did a good job getting a hand on it. That'll be a turnover by St. Francis. So on the dead ball here, Lady Cougar is going to sub in their defense. Goodwin gets it over the timeline. Camping out of the corner. Three-pointer is good. Madison Davis. Davis now with 6 points. Crawford being guarded by Adeshwa. Like to see her take it to the cup. That matchup. Bounce pass goes into Will. Will gets around Van Dyke for her second bucket of the game. Whitney Will. Will, actually, that's her first make from the field. She's 1 of 1 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. 4 points. So Indiana Wesleyan with the 32nd timeout. Well, Indiana Wesleyan's started off strong here in the third quarter. Here's a nice play by Kara Gurka. As you can see, Gurka not able to get to the cup, having to go high off glass, about 4 feet away. That's what she's had to do all game long. Kara is currently sitting with just 4 points on 2 of 6 shooting from the field. St. Francis as a team shooting 33% from the field, 21% from three-point, and 76% from the free throw line, being out-rebounded 23-21. Wesleyan shooting 58% from the field, 42% from beyond the arc, and 91% from the charity stripe. Ball knocked out of bounds by Crawford. Once again, Wesleyan with 22 team fouls, St. Francis with 11 in this game. Travel, gonna go against Madison Davis. Offense comes in for St. Francis. Crow, Gurka, McBride. $18-point advantage right now for the Wildcats. Lady Cougars just need to start getting hot from beyond the arc. But Indiana Wesleyan plays good perimeter defense. They rank number 18 in the country, holding opposing teams to just 26% shooting from three-point land. 3, 2. Buck with the air ball attempt, but the putback at the buzzer. Count it for Sydney Crow. We'll be right back for the fourth quarter of this game.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
For every victory, for every highlight, for every team in the Summit Athletic Conference. We've got you covered. Like, follow, and subscribe for all the latest.
My name is Nick Ferrer. I was part of the two-time national championship football team. I graduated from St. Francis with a business degree in risk management insurance. That led me to my internship here at Highland, and that internship became a full-time position as an account manager here at Highland. And if it wasn't for University of St. Francis and the education and the skills that I learned there, I wouldn't be where I'm at today in my career.
Welcome back, everybody, and what a great play there by Sidney Crow with time ticking down. Three-point attempts no good. Crow right there with the putback at the buzzer. Great job by Sidney Crow. Here we are in the fourth quarter. Last chance here for the Lady Cougars. Indiana Wesleyan took the third quarter 17-13. 17-13. They won the first quarter 23-14, the second quarter 18-15, and 17-13 in the third. Shots no good by McLemore. Buck goes over to Sidney Crow. Gurka down low. Like that matchup with Davis on Gurka, but she opted to pass out of the block. It's the bigs like Lang and Adejwa that, oh, nice. Knock away by Savannah Buck, but possession will stay with St. Francis. So Van Dyke to throw it in. Finds Adejwa. Too strong on the lay-in, and she's fouled. We'll head back to the free throw line. Elena Adejwa not happy with the miss. She's now 0 of 2 from the field, but she has 2 of 2 from the free throw line. 2 rebounds, 1 assist. That assist was pretty, too. It was a bounce pass down on the block to Carly Lang. First free throw is no good. Second free throw, right rim's no good. I'm going to call a loose ball foul on Kara Gurka. That'll be her third. Van Dyke to inbound it. Davis, long three-pointer left short, rebounded by Savannah Buck. Applegate, another long three. She's been leaving him short lately. Van Dyke comes out with it. Nice takeaway, good defense by Lauren McBriar. And her pass is stolen by Van Dyke. Yep, they'll call blocking. Looks like it could have went either way. Coach Ethan Whaley did a good job of politicking there for the block. Checking back into the game will be Trexler and Seacrest. Lindley Kistler checks in for St. Francis. Nice quick hands there by Buck, knocking it away from Janae Goodwin. Savannah was looking for the over and back there, knocking it away from Goodwin. Seacrest from the perimeter. Indiana Wesleyan's lead had ballooned as high as 20 points, sitting up with a 16-point ad. Circus shot by Goodwin's no good. Kistler, dribble drive, baseline, switches to the right hand and finishes. Lindley Kistler definitely has the size to compete with these Lady Wildcats. Trapped there at half court, near violation. Nice job by Goodwin finding Davis, who finds Trexler. For Trexler, she has 14 points. That's a team high. 4 points away from a game high, which is 18 by Applegate. Good defense played there by Wesleyan. Madison Davis running point. Trexler finds Davis out of the corner. Good recovery defense there by Buck. Pump fake Van Dyke. And that was partially blocked there by Gurka, I do believe. And we got a foul going against number 33, Adriana Trexler. That'll be her 4th. 7 minutes left for the Lady Cougars. Need to make up 16 points here at the Hut. Buck over the timeline. And foul's going to go against Emma. I thought it was going to go against Van Dyke on the reach-in. Applegate gets her 2nd, team's 4th. Lady Cougars with 4 fouls already here in the 4th quarter, just 1 for Wesleyan. Inbounds pass goes up to Trexler. They're going to keep her in with 4 fouls. Seacrest also has 4 fouls out on the floor for the Lady Wildcats. Davis has 3 fouls. Ooh, Buck nearly got it away from Goodwin. Good defense on Goodwin, or Davis as well by Buck. Seacrest down low. Turnover, dribbles it right off her foot. McBriar, Applegate back on the floor. Lady Cougars have not gotten the scoring from Gurka or McBriar that they're used to, but there's a 3. Good Lord, McBriar, her 9th point of the game. McBriar can get hot. She hits 1. She'll rattle together a couple. And now a steal by Buck. 3-point attempt left short by Kistler. Lindley Kistler, once again, a 37% 3-point shooter. Her 27 3-pointers attempted is 5th best on the team. Carly Lang back in for Wesleyan along with Groninger. Seacrest at the free throw line. Entering today, Seacrest, a 64% free throw shooter, hitting 9 of 14, averaging 7.7 points per contest. Seacrest now with 7 points in this game, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Three-pointer by Buck. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Savannah Buck. Savannah now 1 for 3 from three-point land with 5 points. Good trap, but Davis was able to get it to Goodwin. Now it's Groninger. Seacrest down low. And Coach Ethan Whaley was looking for the foul. Foul goes against Lauren McBriar. Her second. Seacrest now with 8 points. Hits her second free throw of this game. Now 3 of 4 from the free throw line. 13-point advantage. Lady Cougars keep on chipping away at this lead. St. Francis winning the fourth quarter right now. 8-5. Lang comes down with it, picks up her dribble. Looking for help, finds Groninger. Wide open, Madison Davis. Knocks it down. .15 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Seacrest, top of the key. Ball went right through the hands of Groninger. Three-point attempt by Lang. That one left rim, no good. Buck for your Cougars. Buck looking down low for Gurka. Lang had the defense. Foul goes against number 10. Madison Davis as Malia Leatherman and Sydney Crow are set to check back in. Savannah with 19 seconds on the shot clock. Three-pointer, looking for 2 in a row. It's no good. Inside 3.5 minutes left in this contest. Over at Marion, it's the Knights on top of Mount Vernon Naz, 88-73, with just 30 seconds remaining, so they'll win that game to improve their Crossroads League record to 1-1. Let's see what Taylor's got going on. Foul goes against Crow, her second, team sixth. So Lang to shoot 2 here in the bonus. Other action going on. Taylor is going to win 84-68 right now with 1:54 left in the fourth. Spring Arbor, Bethel's cutting it a little bit closer, 66-57, Spring Arbor. And Huntington losing to Goshen. Oh, Huntington just scored. They're now up 63-62 with 5 seconds remaining. Foul goes against Seacrest, and she's gone. That's foul number 5. Indiana Wesleyan always has a bunch of bigs on the bench. When their bigs get in foul trouble, they just go to the next big. When you get to the national tournament, you need bigs. 18-point advantage, 2:55 left to play here in this game. Leatherman takes the feed from Buck off glass, gets her own rebound, fouled on the left hand. Lang going to be called with it. Lang, that's going to be her 5th, and she's gone. See if they bring in Trexler. They will not. They'll bring Van Dyke in. Bailey Van Dyke, who's had a fine game for the freshman. 3 of 5 from the field with 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 8 points. Leatherman's first free throw's up and in. Malia shooting 76% from the free throw line on the season. 16 of 21 entering today, averaging 7.3 points per game and 4.9 rebounds per game. For Malia Leatherman, who also averages 17.3 minutes played, but she'll take a breather. Inbounds goes to Groninger. Travel called on Groninger, and the Wesleyan fans can't believe it. .245 and counting. Buck finds Applegate in the lane. Right-handed hook shot's no good. Van Dyke now going to be fouled by Buck. It's finals. Marion wins it 88-73. So Marion will improve their Crossroads League record to 1-1. Van Dyke, who's 2 of 2, now 3 of 3 from the free throw line. Taylor's going to beat Grace, so Taylor will improve to 2-0 in conference play. Spring Arbor still up by 6, 152. Spring Arbor sitting at 0-1. Bethel looks like they're going to fall to 0-2. And Huntington wins it 65-62, so the Lady Foresters now 2-0 in conference play as Grace falls to 1-0. So Taylor and Huntington are your only undefeated teams left in conference. A slew of teams with 1-1 records, and Bethel sitting at 0-2, along with Goshen. Savannah now at 6 points. Make it 7. Van Dyke picks up her dribble. Gets it up to McLemore. Janae Goodwin. Three-point attempt by Groninger, strong off the heel. And jump ball going to be called. Good job by McBriar wrestling it away from Van Dyke. Possession arrow in favor of St. Francis. Errant pass gets picked up by Crow. Savannah back over to Sydney. Baseline dribble drive. Good lean in by Crow. Just too much contact down there on the block. Wesleyan fans already cheering for their team's victory. Groninger, 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Coach Ridge is going to empty the bench. Van Dyke now has 12 points for the freshman. So into the game will be Alexis Turbin, along with Aubrey Dunnick, Whitney Will, Tyon McKenzie, and Cassidy Crawford. Turbin is a junior, Will a junior, McKenzie a sophomore, Dunnick and Crawford are freshmen. Aubrey Dunnick's from Uniondale, Indiana, Norwell High School. As McKenzie gets fouled, we'll head to the free throw line. Tyon wears that Tom Brady number 12 jersey. Her first trip to the free throw line. Knocks them both down. One minute remaining. So we'll have two undefeated teams in the Crossroads League and two winless teams. Take a break and be right back for the conclusion of today's game. For every victory, for every highlight, for every team in the Summit Athletic Conference, we've got you covered. Like, follow, and subscribe for all the latest. Welcome back, everybody, to the Hutzel Athletic Center. Indiana Wesleyan on top, 72-56. Van Dyke to inbound it for the Lady Wildcats. Goodwin pushed to the floor, gets back up. And Crawford with the steal. Nice play by Cassidy. McKenzie. Pass goes over to Will. Nice spin move and the bucket for Whitney Will. Lady Cougars ferocious here with the fresh young legs. Alexis Turbin to inbound it. McKenzie near half court, calling for the pick. It's stolen by the other fabulous freshman. And I believe we got a blocking foul going to be called. That was Adriana Trexler. First free throw by Trexler is good. Trexler now with 17 points. For St. Francis, Emma Applegate leads all scorers with 18. for Indiana Wesleyan. 3 players in double-digit scoring. Bailey Van Dyke, a freshman, Carly Lang, a senior, and Adriana Trexler, a freshman. Bodes well for Wesleyan, who shot 51% from the field, 25 of 49 shooting, 39% from beyond the arc on 7 of 18 shooting, and 82% from the free throw line on 18 of 22 shooting. St. Francis 35% from the field, 18 of 52, 24% from beyond the arc, 5 of 21, and 83% from the free throw line. Wesleyan out-rebounding St. Francis 34-30. 13 assists for Indiana Wesleyan, 9 for St. Francis, 8 steals to 5 for Wesleyan, 20 turnovers to 15 for Wesleyan, 5 blocks to 2 for Wesleyan, and 30 team fouls to 20 for Wesleyan. Crawford, that's her first point of the game. The second one's good as well. So once again, St. Francis will fall to 8-2 overall, 1-1 in Crossroads League play. Indiana Wesleyan 7-3 overall, 1-1 in Crossroads League play. Folks, thanks so much for joining us. Our next home game won't be for a month. It'll be a doubleheader against Huntington University on January the 4th. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Jeff Mahoney, along with Catalina Garza on camera. Have a great rest of your week.